Okay, we're here.
Hey, hey, hey! We are here and it is a hurricane.
Hurricane episode.
A real hurricane episode.
Actual hurricane while it's happening.
We are getting pummeled by Hurricane Ian right now. So you're hopefully we still have power through all of this. We lost power very briefly earlier tonight, like 2 seconds. Like it was super quick.
So those of you that were watching, we had a live feed up of our hurricane episode of our sketch show, The Egos, and you can still watch it now, but the live feed is over because we did lose power, but we did only technically lose power for a minute.
But it still counted though.
So, we thought we'd give our computer and our editorial some breaks and that we would come back and we'd film a podcast later tonight.
Yeah, so we're here. We're going to break down all the headlines, which are probably about the hurricane. So, we
stayed away from all the news of the hurricane all day.
Well, I mean, we popped in here and there because you have to keep informed. But yeah, we haven't watched the news in like the last 3 to 4 hours. We haven't really touched it. So, it'd be nice to delve back into it. And so let's get going. But first off, we have to watch one video before we to kick it off. So the Weather Channel's Jim Cantore is like
How am I getting this video?
Here, just Google Jim Cantore hit
I'm
tree
sorry
branch.
for the audio playing for you, Kim. That's not playing for them.
I have this out of my. I have this out.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you because I watched it before.
Jim Cantore.
You should do hit by tree.
I thought you already gave it away.
Well, not that. That one has a whole report thing, but I haven't watched this one. I know there's another one that I know.
I know, but we're no news is the news, Kim.
Okay.
So we have to have the news talk about the news in order to see the news clip that we want to see, right? And you already spoiled it.
Okay.
He gets hit by a tree branch.
He's amazing. He's like, he's always on the ground reporting and stuff, is like super hardcore, and just look what happens. It's amazing. So.
And one thing I want to say before we like really get started with this episode is, one, if the power goes out, I think we're attached to batteries, so you will see it, but then that'll be it.
Yeah.
Possibly, because we have one battery operated light and we have one battery operated camera. And these are battery operated as well. So they may all stay on or they may all go off.
Anyway.
If that happens. But second thing is that I want to say I am not making fun of Mother Nature at all this entire episode. I respect Mother Nature. I will, however, make fun of people in the Green Initiative because it is not climate change as to why my roof might go away halfway through this episode. So I'm going to keep trying to be funny and sarcastic about all of it, but I just want to let everyone know I truly do believe weather could kill me, and I don't want to be an ironic headline. And
I'm of the opinion that, we should be able to continue making fun of anything we want to as per free speech, Mother Nature, so... That's how I stand.
I stand with Mother Nature can silence all, if Mother Nature wants to.
Speaking of, let's look at Jim Cantore.
Ian's hurricane force winds and record storm surge is dangerous for the millions of residents across Florida's west coast and for those covering the monster storm. Meteorologist Jim Cantore from our partners at the Weather Channel learned that firsthand, covering the storm this afternoon in Punta Gorda.
Well, that's crazy.
Wait. Oh my God.
That's a crazy...
Dude, that tree almost took him out.
Yeah. We almost watched him die on camera.
This is crazy. This man is so hardcore.
Why are you out there?
Because it's what he does.
At that point, there's no reason to be out there at that point. And to the cameraman, too. Even though the cameraman's probably like leaning up against a building or some shit. Like, respect to the cameraman that gives it enough to be able to watch that. Wow, that's incredibly impressive.
And we spoke with him earlier from Punta Gorda.
Believe it or not, we are in the dirty eye of Ian right now, which is the break between the eastern eyewall that we just took.
He's called it dirty.
Very, very dark.
And they're like, well, we're coming for you.
We still have that to go at the time I am filing this report. Some debris around, nothing big at least yet, but that backside could really contain some winds, still gusting to 125
this is the before.
miles per hour. We've had a little chunk of this wall. It's been knocked out.
They're just like, see, he reported with us earlier.
Some of the part of the building's kind of laying on the ground. And look at these palm fronds. I mean, this is like a palm tree graveyard just sitting right in front of me here as those winds, again, as I mentioned, 124 miles per hour did their damage. So what is in store for Punta Gorda on the backside of this? Two things. The water from Charlotte Harbor comes this way.
Heads up to that cameraman who keeps like...
with a westerly and northerly wind component coming in. But also a chance to get flooding in this town. We may actually see our worst storm surge on the backside of Ian as it moves to the northeast tonight. We still got a long way to go. Nora, back to you.
Yeah, everybody.
Okay.
Storm surge.
So there you go.
So, yeah. So no, the thing that I noticed about that is that they were like, hey, Jim Cantore, want to interview you because you almost got hit by a branch. And that was pretty scary for everybody. So you get hit by a branch, and he's like, all right, hi, I'm Jim Cantore. Here's the weather.
No, that was before. That was before it happened.
Oh,
yeah, it was before.
I was like, damn, he doesn't even talk about it.
He's like, I'm just not talking about that.
He's just gonna go.
He never talk about that again, ever. That would be hilarious if, like, he was like, I refuse to talk about it.
He just about his day and just never said a word about it. All right, here we go. This is gonna be crazy to kind of walk into these weird news programs with this eye.
Yeah.
And if for some reason we need to spice it up a little bit with some local news, I'll let Kim push the fake local news button.
We should hit live. We should see where we are live before diving, just like we did like the football game.
Yeah, but then I have to actually screenshot it live.
Oh.
And that sounds like
well,
a lot of work.
Then never mind. Let's just go into the news.
Okay, fine. We can do that. We should start where we are. You're
where
right.
we are, and then we'll backtrack.
Which channel should we start with though? With it where we are. Let's say NBC.
No, let's do Weather Channel. Let's do Weather Channel or CNN or something.
Oh, I was gonna do some local.
No. Oh yes, let's do local.
Okay, so which one? I see NBC.
All right,
NBC.
let's do that. Let's do NBC local. Wait, you gotta go back though.
Right here.
You got it. Ooh. All right.
Okay, so we're seeing
Ian slams down on Tampa.
It's inland now.
10:08.
It's gonna get here pretty soon. I think it's kind of here. All right, this is boring. All right, let's move on. Here we go. We're gonna start with our shows now. This is what we should have just done. That was such a bust. All right, the 5.
Wow, that was boring.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hello everyone, I'm Dana Perino along with Judge Janine Pirro, Jessica Tarlov, Jesse Waters, and Bill Hemmer.
They got the waves going in the background.
Oh yeah, look at that. Tracking Ian.
And you notice how they had no intro music and then they're like boom, boom, boom.
Millions of Americans. Hurricane Ian making landfall about 2 hours ago in southwestern Florida with ferocious wind speeds clocking in at nearly 155 miles per hour. That is just shy of a Category 5. At least 2.5 million people were
ordered so it's really not the worst case scenario because the worst case scenario would be a Category 5. So like technically there's still some
worst
worse.
case scenario. Also, there was definitely something we could already record that would be worse than this.
Yeah.
Fox News and Fox Weather covering all angles of this massive storm. Rick Reichmuth is at the Fox Weather Center. Fox Weather's Max Gordon is in St. Petersburg, Florida, and let's begin with him. Hi, how you doing down there?
Hey, good afternoon. Well, we are feeling the wind starting to whip up here in St. Petersburg, and the rain is coming down.
Yeah.
You can see the trees.
She was like, let's start with the hot guy. Whatever.
They were like, you get to pick. And she's like, let's start with the hot guy.
St. Petersburg area. But a really big concern.
What time is this at? Oh, 5 o'clock. This is 5 o'clock.
To 2 feet of rainfall here in St. Petersburg, as well as parts of inland Florida. So that's going to be a major concern as we move throughout the evening hours and into tomorrow.
Okay, I'm just going to say it right off the bat. Do you think that Bill Gates created this storm to get rid of Florida off the map? I'm just saying. They got that cloud distribution stuff where they like creating this.
I just want to know why an Indiana driver is parked in St. Petersburg, Florida right now.
Yeah.
It says that's Indiana, right? Or is that Oklahoma?
It was really just a surreal
yeah, what is that person doing?
Seeing the bay
they picked the wrong time to go on vacation.
You know, people have been actually
but still
along,
rental giant pickup
no, that's not a rental. That has like stickers on it.
Logo on
it has
back.
stickers on it, dude. That is not. But I'm confused. There's like 3 white trucks all behind him. Oh, those are probably like the linemen. They like drove down from like.
You know what's kind of fucked up is this storm hasn't, from what I've seen so far, besides blowing out some generators because there's been a lot of water getting hit and stuff, hasn't really done a huge lot of damage. All of the national news is like, oh, we gotta cover the storm. It's gonna be amazing. And all this fucking shit's gonna fall apart. And then like they built like the buildings right here, and so like it just didn't.
True.
And so now they're like, oh, look at the back of this. Blah, blah, blah. Like there's nothing to show us. There's nothing to show us. They're just like, here, look at the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Look at the ocean.
Just
look at the ocean.
A million Floridians without power is like.
Weather information and weather coverage.
That's not a bad. I mean, that's okay. Like,
that's pretty solid, especially when you look at the shoreline and what's going on with it.
Look at these images, absolutely incredible. Wind speeds have been amazing. With these are the recorded highest wind speeds that we've seen, 135 miles an hour. In Cape Coral, the wind gusts right there. Obviously, you have to have a sensor where you got the wind gusts, and so to get measurements like
it's too
these,
dark. We can't film
also
that.
in sensors that haven't been knocked
There's
down.
more miles per hour in that
amazing.
wind gust than
this
there are
storm
pounds
came
in your
on shore
body.
in Key Costa, Florida, which is the exact
There's
same
more
spot
miles
that
per hour in the
Wait.
wind gust than there are
Hurricane
pounds in your
Charley
body.
Hold on, wait.
Amazing that
This is the same.
Saw 2 Category 4s.
It's the same spot where
come on
Hurricane
shore
Charley came in.
Anywhere in the U.S. that has never happened
The
before.
same spot.
Really
Yeah,
exact
that's
same
what I'm
spot.
saying. Bill
Just
Gates created this
coincidence for
shit to
this.
take Florida down. He was like, oh, you want to pass around immigrants? I'll throw you a hurricane.
To weaken that because it came on shore.
Try to blame that shit on me, you
It'll still
conspiracy
likely be
theorist.
maybe still a hurricane when it exits the other side of
Maybe
Florida.
still a hurricane when it exits. I hope it's not because I don't want it to be a hurricane around
towards the northeast.
through it.
Still
Yeah,
looking
especially
very
since you
amazing
promised it
satellite
was going to be a
representation.
1 and
we
be
have tornado
nothing.
concerns
Like, it's going to be a
across
1 and
the
then like
eastern
whatever.
They're like,
of the
oops,
state.
it's actually a
That
3.
Actually, it's a 3.
has been issued, and that goes into 1 o'clock this morning. All right, here's the latest
Sorry,
radar
it's the same
picture.
people that
You
run the
see this right
polls.
there, those dark
So, you
clouds,
know.
and yet one little green box.
It's never
fucking
reliable.
news. That's the news for you, right?
From storm surge, that's flash flooding that is going on here just from the rainfall. This northern side of this eye wall has
All right,
been.
All right, I
Let's
think
do
we're going to
somewhere
move on. All right.
Yeah, all right.
There you go.
So that's just
So
news.
next, next one is going to be The Beat with Ari Melmer. Is he going to talk about how it's all Donald Trump's fault? Why the hurricane exists?
Hi, Nicole. Welcome to The Beat. I am Ari
Okay.
Melber, and we are tracking Hurricane Ian. We have been listening to this press conference from Ron DeSantis.
Whoa!
This storm is the 5th most powerful
Those
estimated
cars
to
are
ever
gone.
hit the
Wow.
United States.
I saw
A
those
Category
earlier in
4
the day,
hurricane.
and
Wait,
you could
what's
see
that?
them actually.
Formerly 3
I was gonna
hours
say if that
ago,
was Mar-a-Lago, I'd be
in
like, no,
Southwest
it's a document.
lashing the
Is that a
Gulf
safe?
Coast, life-threatening
What?
storm surge level
was a safe,
flooding.
it was the documents.
They expect, as you have
It was
heard,
Trump's
up
documents.
to
Quick,
18
hurry.
feet of flooding in some areas. You're looking
Wrong
here
side,
now at
wrong side of flood.
Naples,
Is that lightning?
where you can see
That
the
is
storm
lightning.
surge 1 million without power.
That is
Monster
monster.
Cat
Video
4, and they're
also
like,
from
it'll
Naples,
be a
Florida, where
1.
You see the refrigerator floating in
No
the
way,
middle
it'll be a
of
1 by
parking
hits
lot
you.
tossed around by waves. And here is a satellite image of Ian
What?
making
It's bigger than
landfall.
Florida? That
What
thing
you
is
can
bigger than
appreciate
Florida.
here, we're
Bigger than
told by
Florida.
the experts, is that the storm from this perspective,
Myers.
you can see
Yo,
more
think
clearly
about, like,
that
going
Okay,
on
but
spring
that's
break
just
right
like
now.
It's
that's just like a hotel.
500
That's just a hotel,
miles
though.
at certain points.
Oh, that's a
That
hotel.
is formally wider, a larger area than the entire
Yo,
state.
homie.
I don't feel.
that
I don't
is-
trust that
you
dude.
should, you should stay on the
And then there's Fort
ground.
Myers, where the
There
roads
you go.
have been impassable.
It's
You see the
135 miles an
devastation.
hour.
You
That's
see
what
how
I'm saying.
difficult that would be to be anywhere near. NBC's Kerry Sanders was actually in the storm as the eye was making landfall.
Yeah.
There's the wind speed as I'm
Look
standing
at that other
next
guy.
to
Is that a PA? That PA is like blocking. traffic thing.
Why are you falling over? Siri, why are you falling over? He's just like, I can't walk. Oh my God.
Like he's just standing there, like.
Yeah, he's just standing there, like, you okay?
This is really getting strong. You get the idea. That's power.
Oh, they're gonna show it again. Oh, that's that same spot.
Oh, that is the power of Mother Nature, and that is what citizens have been urged to evacuate for.
Everything happened to the same block.
Have safety techniques as well as backup to try to
it was actually just a block wide.
Safely. We appreciate
the whole story was within a block.
The Weather Channel's Jim Cantore reporting from
Florida,
Florida.
Yeah. Exactly what I was saying. Which I'm gonna pause it there.
What is that guy in a building? Where is that a boat? He's on a boat.
Don't comment on that because then we gotta bring it up.
There's a slow-moving aspect
Come on,
to this
I just
storm.
want to see. Is he on a boat? I just want to know what he's on.
All right.
It's very confusing.
2 months worth of rain, according to estimates, that will come down in a matter of days.
What?
We begin with our colleague, MSNBC's Velshi, live.
What the fuck is this guy?
Ali, what are you seeing in your reporting?
Where is he? Is he a building that's falling apart?
For a second.
Broken building.
One of these outer bands that's hitting us now.
Fuck, that's a house.
Or what they call
that
the
was
dirty
a house.
end of the storm, because obviously this part hit us. But a couple hours ago, this is the first time in 6 hours.
That's Velshi.
Back down
Yo, props to that mofo.
A few hours ago, I asked my team. We heard
that guy
something
is
that
doing it.
like structural damage.
He's like an anchor.
Because we've been reporting from upstairs. And look at this.
Like
it's a cinder block
that they don't have to make up.
That was the entire width of this
No, this is real, guys.
Look, it's right here. Look.
All over the place. Now, it was not a structural wall. There's a beam here, so this wasn't structural. But think about this. There's a joist here, a little aluminum joist hanging by, a couple of wires.
Okay, I don't want to imagine that.
But I wanted to go back because they were saying the amount of rain and all that, right?
2 months of rain in a matter of days.
Right. So, remember my theory that I was telling you earlier. So basically, my theory is that
it's gonna be interesting.
Biblically.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, we're going there. Noah's Ark. Okay. 30 days, 30 nights. It rained constantly, right?
Yeah.
Well, if it was constantly raining like it is now, like 2-3 months worth of rain in a matter of days.
Okay.
You were not seeing the sun for days as raining.
Okay.
There's not a digital clock, that exists. You use the sun still to tell the time.
Yeah.
So a 10-day storm that pours down 2 to 3 months worth of rain, biblically, could look a lot like Noah's Ark.
Yeah, but like Noah's Ark flooded the world.
No, they're just exaggerating because they're Christians. That's not okay. They're saying the actual story origin.
It flooded. It was a magic storm that came in, that God was like. Rah.
Then why not just say he was on a spaceship?
I don't think Moses was on a spaceship.
It wasn't Moses that was on the ark. It was Noah's Ark. Anyway. Woo!
I was so sure of that when I said that too.
Yeah.
I was like, it was Moses wasn't. Moses wasn't on a spaceship either. So that is a very accurate statement still. That Moses was not, nor was Noah. They were both not on spaceships. So that's very accurate for me to say. Just saying.
Okay. Special report.
Have coverage from flood insurance?
Oh, we got
not
some,
yet, but I think the issue is
got a lady in a
sense
circle.
that
Ron DeSantis.
these are not people.
Got a lady
where
in a
they live
circle.
and they're asked, the realtor says you're not in a flood
Is
zone.
that a lady?
Well, they're not going to get the flood insurance, and I totally understand why people don't do that.
No, it's Florida. It's a lady. Florida. It's a lady.
Does not mean that you're not at risk for catastrophic event.
You're not going to put anything different there.
I think you're going to see some clearly. How many that remains to be seen. There are programs that
You're digging yourself deeper and deeper today.
But it is not going to be commensurate to having had a policy.
It's a hurricane.
This is an issue that we're going to have to deal with. But I do think it will be something, because we deal with this in other storms across the country, including Florida. When you have this about the homeowners policy will cover certain things.
I just wanted to get next to Ron DeSantis.
Most homeowners in Florida,
given comes out
the risk of flooding that we have in so many different parts of our state. So we're sensitive to that. There's obviously going to be some folks that are going to be in need of support and relief, and
so
we're obviously going to work as best we can. I will say that people have been asking.
Yeah, I mean, they do, but they're not there. They've been evacuated for a good 24 hours now.
Right now, they're between 6 and 7 billion.
Like standing there being like, nah, I don't care if 16 feet of water, whatever.
A lot of money in claims for this. Was that they would still have between 4 and 5 billion in surplus, and so they view themselves as being able to weather this. Individual carriers. They have to go through a stress test to be able to have their policies approved, and so this year they had tested under a direct impact on Tampa Bay, and what would happen. And so they have policies, they have reinsurance. We have our RAP program, and of course the CAT fund. But for citizens, they feel very strongly that they're going to be able to handle this and still have pretty significant reserves.
I know I'm sitting from within Florida as a pro, DeSantis-ish
Governor
person,
Ron DeSantis in Florida as authorities
he's been looking
update
awfully
about Hurricane
well
Ian.
during this whole thing, and we haven't really seen a whole lot of bodily injury.
Good evening, I'm Brett Baer. We are coming to you live tonight from Fox News World headquarters in New York.
You know what I mean? You normally are
like Katrina? We're like, I don't know what to do.
No, but ever since Katrina, every time that there's like rain somewhere, everybody's like, will it be a Katrina? And then they fuck it up, and it's just like a Katrina.
Along the southwestern Florida coast.
Everybody's looking at you, waiting to make sure you don't fuck up.
I mean, this just seems pretty just
like people fuck up, and like this.
Florida got their shit together. They're like, dude, we're learning from our mistakes.
Got it fucking down.
There were a lot. Apparently, there were a lot of regulations that were put into place after
in the form of both storm surge
Hurricane Andrew
and pounding
rain.
rain.
It's been 30 years
Florida's
since
governor
then.
said just
so
moments
like,
ago
they've been waiting for it.
Has
They've been
hit
waiting for it.
12
All the
feet
buildings,
and probably
everything.
has peaked. We're watching that closely. We have correspondents stationed all
test.
over Florida tonight. We will bring you the best video, the live images,
the best
and all
video,
the video through the day showing the force of this storm. And we'll speak live with lawmakers and emergency officials throughout the hour. Correspondent Will Nunley of Fox Weather is in Fort Myers, Florida tonight.
Maybe he can like
because the governor maybe
by Hurricane Ian.
Oh yeah.
Well.
And Brett, no doubt you are looking on with disbelief at this unimaginable emergency taking place across the state of Florida. We are about 10 minutes outside of the immediate downtown Fort Myers. We had to evacuate because of the storm surge likely coming in there. And that 1.3 million people without power, that figure you just quoted there, equates to easily 2 million individuals going through this without power. And we just started receiving emergency alerts on our phones here from officials saying we cannot get out to perform
I'm sorry,
rescues
where are the
right
lady
now.
ones?
And so you can imagine people that were looking for a lifeline to get a message
because
like that.
Kim, as I said to begin with,
in this incredible storm that continues
to
create a chaotic scene all around. And this is part of a concrete
winds
shingle that's
are
on the
up
building.
to 135 miles recorded.
Where's the
that
strong
is
weather lady?
That is what?
Where's the strong weather lady? I have to say.
That is more miles per hour than you have pounds in your body.
Well, there are big women too.
So you're fighting for all the big women to go out there and run into the storm?
Yes, step it up for women.
Giant fat lady out there. Like, I can hold this shit down.
Why did she suddenly become like grandmama of the South? I can't hold, like, what the? That was a strange accent you chose for that character in your mind. Wow.
All right.
But I do want to see that. I think you know.
You do?
Go for it. Yeah, I want to see a woman stand out there in the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, News Nation. Rush hour.
Rush hour. Do, 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 do. Rush hour. Do 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 do. Do do do. News Nation.
Welcome back to our breaking news
Comfy
coverage
Goat.
of Hurricane Ian, which at this point made landfall approximately 3 hours ago.
Comfy Goat.
Sustained winds of 145 degrees.
Comfy Goat, you okay, man? You okay?
Take a look at video. This is video out of Naples, Florida.
Comfy Goat, you
can see
okay?
that the water is so strong, the winds are so strong.
But like, where are they? It's like the shittiest building.
Pushes that door in, completely flooding that hallway there. No word yet, obviously, on if everybody inside that building is safe at this point. But just absolutely
Comfy
amazing.
Goat, are you okay?
Shot that video.
Yeah,
I was thinking they were just shooting a little bit of flooding video coming through. And the door collapses and you can see them try to run up the stairs.
This is a video from Bonita Springs, Florida. If you're not familiar with the area, this is south of Fort Myers. It is north of Naples. This is in Collier County there. Just some crazy flooding. Look at that's the top of an SUV there on the other side of that railing. That's somebody's car.
That's
completely
like
submerged,
my height.
let alone all the trees that are flying around. This is the things that folks on the southwest coast of Florida are dealing with right now.
This is why you never stay near water.
Power outages.
Water's everywhere.
And that number continues to go up by the hour. We're going to toss it over to meteorologist Gerard Jabali, who has been on this thing since 5 a.m. Central today. Gerard,
over a million already.
Lots of power outages out there.
Well, to even back it up further, you know,
Nothing
my
yet for
producer
us.
Dax and I,
Thank
another
God.
meteorologist, we were talking about this potential storm about a week and a half ago.
Don't invoke the wrath.
Let's
try not to invoke the
occur,
wrath.
and it unfortunately came to fruition in ways that we did not want it to, but here we are. Let's take you through all the other places. We've been talking about the places that have been hardest.
He's like here, but you know, whatever, here we are.
Upstream that still have more to go with this. Now, we do have flash flood warnings out for a lot of
What's
folks.
that little like blue thing that's just like floating over
a lot with the
it?
wind damage. We need to remember that
that's
there's
like
a lot more folks in the way of this.
That's like a big
storm's going to continue to track across Florida while weakening, still bringing huge
That's that big old Lake
It may
Okeechobee.
reemerge back over the water. In fact, right now the Hurricane Center is believing so, and it may get a little more energy, regenerate itself a bit as the tropical storm heading in towards the Carolinas. We could still see some pretty big impacts there.
Regenerate.
First, let's take you through the wind. Still winds nearing 100-mile-per-hour gusts. We've already seen one gust near Punta Gorda, 134
Okay,
miles
give us the
per
good
hour.
news.
That
How are the people
huge.
of Key West feeling right about
Those
now?
Winds,
Are they
those
okay?
extreme winds might die down.
Are they
some.
good?
We're
Are they
going to
still
see
hit?
At least tropical storm to low and hurricane
Is
force
it
all
over
the way
yet
through
for them?
Orlando, and then even as we move to
let
the
me
other
know
side
that
on the Atlantic side. So they got to be prepared for wind. But this
they're
is
not
the extreme
charging me
winds
for
that
any
we're gonna have.
overages
That may be the end of it.
from the September
Now let's
28th
talk
to
about the
October
rainfall.
28th.
That is the biggest threat to the interior, I think.
So
As
if
we
you
move through
got
the
to
next
call
several
a bunch of people because
hours into the overnight, into tomorrow, we're going to be talking
free
about
calls.
So it's okay.
Your
No,
free
but I can
calls.
use my
huge amount of
phone as a
rainfall. And while
hotspot
we've
if
already
our
seen
if our
big numbers,
if
the
our power
worst
goes
of
out.
that may still be to come. 15 to 20 inches of
So that's
rainfall. They're
good.
cutting
Yeah. And
right
then
down the
everybody does
middle
that, and then you
of
can't
Florida. And we're talking 15 to 20 inches near the
Thanks,
Orlando
AT&T.
area. That would likely flood so many roadways. And as we heard earlier, Leland talking about that, may cut off the rescue efforts. A lot of supplies and people may not just be able to get in because they're cut off from the flooding. And some of that could reach
Alex,
more
like if we had
moisture
gone
into the
up,
Carolinas as we
get
move into
caught in
Sunday.
it further.
And now we have
Alex
new
wanted to like
alerts
run,
to talk
and
about.
I'm like,
I
where are you
wouldn't
gonna
have went to
go?
South Carolina. I wouldn't have went to South Carolina. I would have
down to Cape
driven.
Coral.
I would have probably driven to Virginia.
Watches
Is
have
what
been
I would
issued.
have
We're
done.
talking hurricane
I would have
watches
driven
from
to like
Jacksonville
DC.
I'm not driving to Virginia.
Because DC has legal
warnings
weed.
going out up there as
So you
more
can just go all
impacts
the way
will
up
be
there.
felt once the storm reemerges back out
That's
over the
mind-boggling to
water.
me
So a
that
lot more
the
folks,
like
not
the
just Florida, going
nation's
to
capital
feel
has
Ian's
weed
wrath,
legal,
but it's
but
going
like
to
the
still
rest
be
of
a
the
big
country
issue
doesn't.
for a
It's
lot
like
of folks.
no
We have to track
sense.
this not through today, but through Friday, Saturday, possibly even Sunday, guys. We've got many more days of this to go.
just because they
All right,
enforce
Gerard, thank you
everything
for that.
federally there.
All right, let's bring in
like no
Jeff
matter what, even if a
Kottkamp. He
state
is
like
the
they can
former
enforce it
Lieutenant
federally,
Governor of
and then
Florida.
it's literally right.
He joins
anyway.
us live. Thank you so
digress.
much for your time. You know, we just heard from Governor DeSantis there.
All right. All right, let's move on. So we got to get to the present soon enough. We're still in the 6 o'clock land.
The Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer.
The situation is the hurricane.
I mean, so far, News Nation had the best footage with that footage of who was it, Comfy Goat? I hope Comfy Goat's okay.
Comfy Goat, if you're out there, let us know.
I mean, no joke, really, like no joke. If Comfy Goat did not make it, this one's for Comfy Goat.
Comfy Goat had to like share that and give them clearance to use or something. So
No, they could have just stolen it, but
were they live streaming it? I'm saying like if they died, their phone would have died.
And he died. And then they fucking
No, they just posted it.
That's so awful.
So they're fine. Okay, they're fine.
Big flooding event, and a lot of these places might not have flood insurance. Do you have a sense of, I mean, how exposed a lot of these people are who don't have coverage?
Halloween ends.
Not yet, but I think the issue is significant in the sense that these are not people that necessarily live in a, quote, flood zone. You know, they live and they're asked, the realtor says, you're not in a flood zone. Well, they're not going to get the flood insurance. And I totally understand why people don't do that. But just because you're not in a, quote, flood zone does not mean that you're not at risk of a catastrophic event like this. And so I think you're going to see some
I get it. I know it sucks, but you know what? It just sucks. Sorry. As a Floridian, you should have been prepared.
It just sucks. Sorry.
You should have been prepared. Sorry about that. You know,
but they're wanting him to answer him like national policy questions.
No,
but he's answering him like a governor. He's answering him like a governor.
But here's the thing. It's like just like the COVID policy. He's like, if you want to take the vaccine, take the vaccine. If you don't, then no, you can probably die from COVID. But you have the choice to do so. Same thing with flood insurance.
And I think it's because he's talking as a governor.
Homeowners in Florida, given the risk of flooding that we have in so many different parts of our state. So we're sensitive to that. There's obviously going to be, some folks that are going to be in need of support and relief, and we're obviously going to work as best we can. I will say that people have been asking about some of the overall homeowners insurance with like Citizens. Citizens, I think right now they're between $6 and $7 billion of surplus. They're modeling
that didn't have flood
paying out a lot of money in claims for this was that they would
no,
still have
he's
between
like,
4 and 5
I
billion
get
in
it.
surplus.
I get it. If I bought a place there, I would be pissed too.
To weather this,
I'd be pissed too.
Individual carriers,
like that's the fucking shit end of the stick, bro. Like that's it.
Yeah,
and it's like that's such a governor versus like a presidential candidate.
That's
direct
Florida.
on Tampa Bay. Then what would happen?
That's a Florida.
And so they have.
Florida's like, yeah, shit happens, but as a Floridian, you need to prepare for that. And if you didn't prepare for that, then it's your own fault. Yeah. And that's kind of philosophy of Florida. So.
All right, now we got the national news coverage here. Got CBS Evening News.
Evening News. Are we switching to 7 o'clock, or is this still?
This is, I believe, still 6.
Oh, okay.
CBS Evening News.
Area that is reporting some power
again.
Outages since this time.
I just have to.
This guy
our various
does not like his job nor want to do his job. He's
taking care of
big
the
piece of shit
who are without power.
What are the qualifications to be a signer?
Everyone that during periods of
I feel like there is a scarcity, and they're just like anyone, anyone.
Or something. Like, what is this? Why is it always a character?
It's always. It's never a normal person. It's always some like distracting character. Where you're like,
because that's how they go.
Well as any large quantity.
That's what it's all about.
They're mouthing it. Why are they mouthing it right now?
Immediately after power outage. I only say that to you because we are experiencing some sporadic power outages at this time. The Orlando Utilities Commission
I feel like they're signing to one person.
And I am
going
to do so.
It's kind of dumb.
OUC is prepared for the storm's potential impact.
What the fuck? This guy reading this shit,
what are they trying to do? Like,
are you seeing this guy?
They're like, all right. I feel like this person is relatively new at this.
No, you're distracted. Look at him. He's the politician, and look at how he's reading this.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Look at how he's reading this.
Who are providing support.
Let's pause this for a sec. I mean, no, pause. Don't pause it. Just be quiet for a minute. Be quiet for a minute. Continue it. Continue it.
Line and water technicians. And many others who will join OUC after the storm. Customers are encouraged to visit the OUC site at ouc.com/storm
which is more entertaining, the sign language person or the mayor not caring.
They also ask customers to sign up for outage.
Just comment, alerts. Let us know. This is the vote. Who do you find more entertaining?
Because you wanted to keep berating the sign language person instead of talking about this government official that's like, I don't know.
They're like this.
That's REG 2696882.
That's what the fuck? He's like fucking reading the number.
What the hell are they doing?
He's like a dummy. Okay, NBC.
We reported to you earlier that we thought that it was important that we go
into
our low-lying areas and our mobile home parks to remind people who may still be in those parks that it is recommended that they evacuate. I will tell you that our first responders were in those areas, and a few people did take advantage of that. We relocated them to various shelters, but the majority of the individuals had relocated.
He's so annoyed. He's so annoyed that he has to do this. He's like, ugh.
Yesterday And again, the fire rescue department went out and visited all 79 of the mobile home parks to urge residents to move to hardened structures. Links provided a bus service to assist with this mission. We have reports of a few power outages throughout the county.
Okay, all right.
That was amazing.
That lady, man. She is very distracting.
I told you.
We might get it one more time here.
To various shelters, but the majority of the individuals had relocated themselves. They had gone to stay with families.
So crazy.
They had gone.
It's so animated. Hey, yo, what's up? We're having a great time with this hurricane. What? Hurricane.
Went out and visited all 79 of the mobile home parks.
That's my favorite. This is what she did. This is what Alex did. This is what she did.
A bus service
she did the sprinkler.
With this
she did the sprinkler.
We have a few power outages throughout the county.
We're fucking getting hurricane updates from the guy that's like bored out of his mind, and he has this fat lady here fucking doing a sprinkler.
Area in the city
what the fuck is this going on?
Gardens area that is reporting some power outages.
Oh my god, this guy's so dumb.
And then there's like some lady in the background falling asleep.
I would like to become famous enough that I could, like, make what's his name? Val Demings' husband.
Oh, Mayor Demings. I don't know his first name. Jerry.
Jerry Demings, like the world's biggest buffoon. Like, so that everybody was like, "Oh, okay, we can't vote this guy ever again."
Yeah.
Because wow, what a
he just doesn't care. Like he's the most apathetic governor. I don't know.
Just walking out there.
Feel like Val Demings has like pushed him and made him like made him with this career, and she's like, "You must do it." And he's like, "I hate doing this." She's like, "You must do it," and then he does it.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Back to News Nation.
To come, it's only just beginning.
All 110 mile an hour winds, Orlando, Florida.
Brian Todd, be careful over there.
That was at 7 o'clock.
Thanks very much to our viewers. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room. Aaron Burnett out front picks up our breaking news coverage of Hurricane Ian right now.
Oh man.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Burnett. Out front tonight, the breaking news, the catastrophic storm Hurricane Ian tearing through Florida tonight, bringing with it life-threatening storm surge and catastrophic wind damage. This is the scene right now in Punta Gorda. Trees whipping and winds there topping 130 miles an hour. And across Florida right now, there are people trapped in their homes. Entire homes have been flooded out.
Technically, we're trapped in our home.
The rainfall now being measured in feet.
We're not leaving.
Hard is Bonita Springs. Part of that city are now completely underwater. The storm surge has knocked homes completely off their foundations as well. And to the south of there, the city of Naples, Cat 4 winds there completely demolished buildings. Look at that. Look at how high up that. Obviously, you never know what's in these waters now as they come in, right?
See, there's a boat. They got the boats
in the middle of these towns. According to forecasters, the storm surge reached more than 6 feet, flooding cars and homes, even leaving rescue crews stranded. In fact, the water was so high that officials had to wade through it to rescue people who did not evacuate. And let us just show you one astonishing image from just before Ian came ashore. Look at that. It's almost like a tsunami was coming, right? The wind and the storm actually sucked all the water out of the bay. Usually it's many feet deep there. And then obviously returning with a vengeance.
Gen Z. It's all Gen Z. It's all Gen Z.
Gen Z?
Their parents are like, okay, just be back like in an hour. Okay.
Until now, the strongest and most devastating hurricane ever to hit southern Florida. Andrew's eye was 20 miles across. That is a massive storm. Ian's eye is 40 miles across. Double the size of the last most powerful storm to strike Florida. We have a team of reporters standing by, and I want to begin with Randy Kay in Punta Gorda, Florida, which is really taking the brunt of this right now. Randy, what is the latest where you are?
Aaron, the winds had calmed down for just a moment. I thought maybe we were going to get a break here, but we are not. They are still
There's your lady. There's your lady. Like on the brick.
See, there's there we go. There's a lady.
They're like,
there's a lady. That lady is hardcore. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
As much as I am right now in my own home.
Yes, it looks like she could get broken by one of those winds. So she is not in there. She is in an alcove, but she is still on the ground reporting. That's what I gotta say. Yes.
You should let her talk.
Yes, Aaron Burnett.
What? We're also seeing quite a bit of rain, as you can see. I actually put my glasses on just for some protection from what's going on here, but you can see there's debris that's been flying through the air now for well over an hour. There are some trees down. There is nobody to speak of on the street here, mainly because of how it feels.
Then you get sucked down the street.
The conditions are out here. We know that people have been told to.
No, that looks painful, dude. That is wind. Like,
no, I know. I'm just thinking like he's all lifted up for a minute.
And you can see why. They said that now is certainly not the time to try and leave. If you haven't left already, you should be in an interior room. We just wanted to show you exactly what's happening here.
They told her to take her glasses off. They're like, you don't look that attractive, lady. And she was like, I had them on for protection.
And it's hard to imagine that now on the backside of this
and
storm,
they're like, whatever,
this
you gotta sell.
Is what we are experiencing.
She's like, why am I here in a hurricane? I don't know, lady. Should have had a better retirement plan.
The eye comes through, or even in the eye wall. Not to come outside.
Yeah, this is probably a lifelong
this
dream.
Is what happens on the backside. So the conditions are. This is a violent storm.
Okay.
They experienced Hurricane Charlie here.
I don't even know her name. They don't even have her name under there. That's so mean.
Not really a rain.
I don't know who this lady is.
Feminism.
Be everything all in one. To be
first,
honest with you.
First female weather lady. They'll make a Disney movie about her like 30 years after she's dead.
And getting pelted by the rain, but again, we just wanted to show you why.
Really, she didn't want to do the job. They just kind of forced her to, but now all of a sudden she's a hero.
And Randy, just we still have your shot. I know it kind of comes in and out given the conditions you're in. But where are you even able to seek shelter? Obviously, I see a brick wall, so you found as safe a place as possible.
Did she?
That's the safest place.
How do you feel where you are, especially as you talk about the debris that you've been dealing with?
Yeah, there's been, stop signs and pieces of aluminum that have been flying down the street. Also, some pieces of palm trees. We saw some metal that was bent around a fence here earlier. But we are right now just on the edge of the first floor of this, this parking garage, and we can just duck right in. We were upstairs earlier when they were talking about the storm surge, so we got a little bit higher up on the third floor of the parking garage. But we're actually not that far from our hotel, but
okay, whatever.
That's I don't know where her hotel is at. But let's do it now. We got to vote on who ends up covering it the best. So far, I say that News Nation with the submerged video of what was it? I forgot the person's name now.
Comfy Goat.
Comfy Goat.
Comfy Goat.
Comfy Goat video has won the day so far. But Aaron Burnett with the female weather lady, that was a good twist. Then we got
No, I say the sign language lady. It's my favorite thing so far.
Networks. That's not
my favorite thing so far. I don't know. She wins everything.
Because she stood in front of the man who did not care until he did.
Yeah,
he was
really
like, because he was like explaining it like this. He was like, she was like,
they just watched it, Alex. They know. You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Dun, dun, Good evening, everyone. We begin the readout tonight with breaking news. Florida is being pummeled by a storm of catastrophic and historic proportions. Hurricane Ian, the first hurricane of its caliber to hit the Sunshine State since 2018, made landfall just hours ago. But for many Floridians, the worst may still be to come. Here's what we know at this hour. The Category 4 storm is currently barreling across southwest Florida with winds up to 150 miles per hour.
Just hold it on there.
1 million people in the state are currently without power. But the most imminent
what's
some areas seem 12 to 18
That's the weather guy. He's like, is it my turn yet? Can I please start talking?
No one alive
I'm not gonna last.
has seen 12 feet of storm surge in that area. In many areas, could take years to recover. Just take a look at the surge in Santa
the hurricane logo as this like person.
That danger is a reality for many Floridians who chose to hunker down and wait out the storm, despite the evacuation orders. Take a look at one family told NBC affiliate WBBH as their house flooded.
So this is in Fort Myers Beach on Cutlass Drive?
Yeah. 564 Cutlass Drive. It's 4 of us.
4 of us? On Cutlass Drive, and you're on the 2nd floor already?
Yeah, we're all 6 of us in
Whoa.
here. 564 Cutlass Drive.
Do you have a roof?
Again, Gen Z.
Yeah, why are they FaceTiming a reporter right now?
Yeah.
Whoa! You all screwed up. That was Gen Z. They're like, ooh, we're gonna get to hang out and just do whatever.
Asking President Biden to grant a major disaster declaration for all 67 counties in the state.
He's asking Biden for things?
We have now officially sent the letter with the request to the Biden administration for a major disaster declaration for all 67 counties, requesting the federal government do 100% reimbursement up front for 60 days to ensure that we can quickly move forward into this response and recovery phase.
Let's bring in NBC meteorologist
talking about
like
an insurance salesman.
Okay,
she melts as well, but somehow it's not as distracting as the other lady. I think because she's physically next to him.
No,
they just have that's the video.
She was just so excited, and the fucking guy, Demings, was just like,
absolutely.
I know, Alex,
and,
you get it.
Storm surge, the deadliest aspect of a hurricane, and tonight, as night falls, this is when we're really going to see the storm begin for some folks. My heart really goes out to parts of southwest Florida because for a lot of folks, it's going to be the longest night of their lives. Let's go ahead and take a look right now. 125 miles per hour. So Hurricane Ian is now in Category 3. This just happened. It's starting to weaken, but it is still packing a punch. It's traveling to the northeast at 8 miles per hour right now. It's just situated between Fort Myers and Sebring. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. So right now, we're seeing some of the strongest winds hitting parts of Florida, including Arcadia. And right now, they're experiencing some heavy rain along with those strong winds. We're seeing colors like pink and red show up here, and that is very heavy rain falling. Still seeing some strong winds as well in Punta Gorda.
We're seeing colors like pink and red show up here.
Through the central portions of Florida. Look at some of the winds that have come in so far. We've seen 135 mile per hour gust when it was hitting.
This is the first time this lady's ever seen this board.
Down towards Naples, 100.
She's like, I don't know, this is readout. Like, whatever, this fucking hurricane.
Island, 106 mile per hour
They used to talk about how it was all climate change's fault.
A very strong storm, and it remains strong. Look at this deep red here. This is denoting the hurricane force winds that will continue to extend.
It's going to be really scary for the next good hours, guys. Like, you're seeing this in the early hours, but then after this, we got 4 more hours of unsafe area.
Beyond that, with the latest updates, we are seeing the threat.
The hurricane's going through us until 2 a.m.
has been issued for parts of the South Carolina and Georgia coastline, as we could see some re-energizing. Right now, it's on track to become a tropical storm as it moves into the Carolinas, bringing heavy, wet, chilly rain into parts of the Carolinas through the weekend. And beyond that, the power outages, that's going to be a big concern tonight. And we are expecting power disruptions throughout much of the state, as you've already seen, and that could stick around for weeks in some isolated regions.
Look at that.
But
We're
especially
red.
the
It goes all the way across the state.
From the
It
coastline
starts
to
in
Daytona
Sarasota
Beach,
and
we could
goes
be
all the way
that little sliver is Disney.
power failures.
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you.
The little sliver is
with the chance
Disney.
for
We're
multi-tornadoes
good with
still
our
on the
power.
horizon as we head.
All right.
Whatever. Okay. All right.
Jesse Waters.
Whoa. Is that Mar-a-Lago? No, that's Naples.
There's like 3 boats. No, there's 4 boats. 4 of them.
That does not look good. What? Oh, that's power outage. That power is out. Comfy go!
Comfy go!
Are you okay? Comfy go!
Comfy go!
Sunshine State with wind and rain of biblical proportions.
Biblical.
Touchdown as a Cat 4 storm, bringing 140-mile winds and leaving a wake of destruction in its path. The National Hurricane Center is warning of catastrophic wind damage. with an unsurvivable storm surge of up to 18
Unsurvivable.
feet. It is expected to dump 2 feet of rain across the state, bringing unprecedented flooding and destruction. Entire neighborhoods are now under sea as water levels continue to rise. Homes are floating down the middle of the street.
This guy just swimming.
People are swimming in their living rooms.
It seems like he enjoys it.
It's a very bad idea.
The guy's smiling.
And first responders
He's like, hey!
rescue services can't escape the flooding either. This fire department in Naples is completely underwater, leaving the city's residents on their own. And things are even worse in the air, where hurricane hunters are flying into the heart of the storm. Watch.
Oh, they can be okay. This is very disturbing.
Oh!
Whoa.
More than 2 million people in the state.
Yeah.
With thousands
He was pissed though. Do you see that? He was mad.
He was like, what?
Someone did not do their job.
For the worst.
We know that this has been a big storm, and it's done a lot of damage as it is. It's going to continue to move through the state of Florida. You're going to see hurricane-force winds in places in central Florida. That's going to rank as one of the top 5 hurricanes to ever hit the Florida Peninsula.
Oh my God.
Over a million Floridians are already without
he has
power.
not gotten a lot of
Things
sleep.
are only going to intensify from here.
That's what you want a governor to look like. You don't want him to look like well rested.
Well, he has to put out every fire because he just fucking did like a whole like practical joke with immigrants, and now he's like, oh God damn it.
Considered the worst hurricane to hit the Sunshine State.
Bill Gates
Charlie decimated the region, causing nearly $25 billion in damage.
I went through Charlie.
But it pales in comparison to the size.
It pales in comparison.
Satellite images of the 2 storms show the entirety of Hurricane Charlie fitting inside just the eye.
What?
The entire storm.
The entirety of Hurricane Charlie
Now you
is
see
in
where
the eye of Hurricane Ian.
You see what's happening, homie?
What?
Yeah.
Hey, good evening, Jesse. I got to tell you, in the last 20 minutes or so, we've had some really powerful wind gusts through here. And because of that, we're staying stationary because we've got a lot of large trees around us and we want to be safe. But I want you to take my word for this. There is a lot of debris all over the place. We're talking about large tree limbs that are down.
Goggles.
We've seen some
that makes
large
sense.
debris
Yeah,
just being
he was like, I didn't wear like sunglasses. And like, you can't wear your sunglasses, dumb lady.
That's on top of the rain that's fallen here.
They're expecting
but they told me I couldn't 5 to 8 inches of rain, and when you're talking about that much rainfall in such a short amount of time, you have
MSNBC
to
being
think
like,
about
I don't know, we don't have
the
those
ground
things.
and some of these large trees that I've mentioned possibly toppling over. Certainly concerning when you're talking about homes being here, those trees possibly toppling over on homes, bringing down power.
All right, let's move on.
Oh, the news with Shepard Smith.
Oh. I find it very strange that the stock market is up today.
Hurricane Ian comes ashore as one of the strongest storms to hit the U.S. in decades. The strongest ever on the southwest Florida coast,
like,
leaving residents stranded in homes with
the
nobody
insurance
to
companies
rescue
are
them.
like,
We're tracking where the massive storm is now and where it's headed in live news team coverage across the battered region. I'm Shepard Smith.
See, look,
this is
it's saying it's going to get to us
CNBC.
like 65 miles per hour.
Hurricane Ian is now making landfall with winds of 155 miles per hour.
Damn.
Yeah,
that
but
is
Orlando's
just shy
never experienced
Category 5.
The storm is incredibly dangerous. It's life-threatening.
This may be the best depiction I have ever seen of what storm surge actually looks and feels like.
This is wild crazy right now.
That guy was just sleeping there.
Didn't expect it to be this bad here.
We're getting hammered right now. These are some of the strongest winds
baseball
that we've
helmet.
seen. 3 hours earlier, there were cars lined up on the right and cars lined up on the left. Now look at it.
This storm is doing a number on the state of Florida. It is going to continue to move through this state through much of tomorrow, and there's going to continue to be a number of adverse effects.
Also tonight, the urgent warning to Americans still in Russia. Ambush in Philadelphia, the deadly attack on high school football players. And an Alzheimer's drug shows early signs of remarkable success.
He's like, I'm still gonna cover other shit.
Well, he's like, he's like, hold on, we're just gonna pause it there. So he's like, wait, there's other news, and the other news is we cured Alzheimer's. This fucking hurricane fucked a cure for Alzheimer's. This man was like, okay, we have to cover the other news, and they're like, all right, what's the other news? Well, we found a cure for Alzheimer's.
I don't know. We'll see what they mean by it.
No, it's let's move on.
All right. Anyway, all right. Who's next?
Next one is Tucker Carlson.
Okay.
How is this gonna go?
All right. 8 o'clock. Moving on. More progression. Getting to present day.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson. Tonight, the hype turned out not to be hype. Hurricane Ian slammed into Florida this afternoon.
He's like, yeah,
shocking destruction. One of the story that's unfolding as we speak.
Why did he do like a whole story last night about how it was fake?
Expert Brian Norcross, who we spoke to last night.
This time, my bad, guys.
What did this storm do?
Well, it did pretty much what we talked about last night, Tucker, and it's going to keep doing it. This is going to be a multi-day slog of the worst hurricane event to affect the whole Florida peninsula, probably ever, even worse than Hurricane Irma back in 2017. Here's the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center just in. 115 miles per hour now is the estimate for the top winds, which is still a spectacularly strong hurricane considering the eye is over land. You see back on the 6-hour loop here, came ashore about 3 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon, and right over a state park there called Cayo Costa in just by Fort Myers, and then drove water over the barrier islands near Fort Myers and up the Caloosahatchee River, flooding Fort Myers, flooding Naples. This is going to be just a huge disaster when the sun finally comes up and we see what happens. And now we have tonight the rain situation. Up to 19 inches of rain fell today in this area north of Fort Myers. Here's Fort Myers down here, and they have a flash flood emergency in effect tonight.
Tucker Carlson.
They're going to have Ron DeSantis on.
This is going to move towards Central Florida, and that is the next phase of this disaster that's going to unfold over the next couple days. So here's the progress. Not very fast. It's going to slowly stroll up the state. So by Thursday, tomorrow night this time, it's in the Orlando area, and then offshore by Friday.
It's just 85 right now, and you're seeing the video of the damage, right?
I like how they're like, it's going to be a multi-day event. So like 3? Like that's really not a lot. Like you say multi-day, you think like 12.
Well, they gotta, like, it's also like, it's healthy to exaggerate this story, because the more that you exaggerate the story, the more that you can be like, I protected people because I exaggerated. So they just do it more and more and more.
Yeah. It's okay. So at 8 o'clock.
So Chris Hayes.
Oh, this is 7 o'clock. We backtracked, dude.
One of the most powerful storms to hit the United States in decades is roaring across Florida, bringing massive amounts of water and catastrophic winds. Hurricane Ian was just downgraded to Category 3 storm, maximum sustained winds of up to 125 miles per hour. When it made landfall on Florida's west coast nearly 5 hours ago, Ian was just shy of a Category 5. As you can see from these satellite images, the day began with Ian's massive bands approaching Florida from the south.
This dude like came out of nowhere.
Havoc across the Caribbean. Cuba saw significant flooding. It's just now beginning to get some power back in some areas after nearly the entire
like a day and a half of prep.
plunged into darkness. Now, this morning, as Ian strolled towards Tampa, residents woke up to this eerie sight.
A day and a half
Nearly
of prep.
all of the water had receded out of Tampa Bay.
And then I was just here.
The storm pulling all that water away from the shore as its winds whipped around counterclockwise before shoving it back towards land hours later. Around the same time, the National Hurricane Center increased their predictions for how much storm surge Ian will bring. Those revised estimates stand at up to 12 to 18 feet along the coast from Englewood to Bonita Beach. As you can see here in the purple section on this map.
You do not want to be in the purple section.
We've seen waters rise to record-breaking levels throughout the day. That's Naples. And in Naples, Florida, the water rose 6 feet above the normal high tide, nearly submerging cars. And in Fort Myers Beach, the storm surge has driven the water 8 to 20 feet, flooding homes, leaving some residents trapped. One family spoke to a reporter on FaceTime, showing her their first floor underwater.
Yeah. Okay, can you show me how
Yeah,
far
bro.
the water Can anyone get up on the furniture?
No, bro.
No, this is a different one. This is a different one because just as dumb.
No, it's the same guy.
Do you have a way to get
It's just a
into
different clip.
the roof?
Go to the roof. Don't go in the attic.
No, it's that same guy.
Do you have a way to get on the
That
roof?
guy looks so dumb.
What?
That guy
Why
is
is he
so
talking
dumb.
to the news?
That dude is dumb. That man is
They're
not
acting like it's an
smart.
emergency.
Oh,
Like, how do you
no.
go to the attic? Go to the attic. He's like, he's fucking FaceTiming the news. How did he get on this phone call? I'm so confused.
I don't know. That guy was so dumb.
He's like, let me FaceTime the news real quick.
That guy, I don't know. Well, he's definitely not comfy goat.
Local officials are asking residents who decided to ride out the storm to shelter in place. The Naples Fire Rescue Department shared this video of a fire sparked by a downed power line, warning people the roads are not safe, urging them to stay home until the storm has passed. This afternoon, the department found their station and their truck submerged.
And they're like, oh yeah, we can't leave either.
From water. Tonight, millions of Floridians are under evacuation orders or advisories. Thousands are sleeping in shelters. 5,000 National Guard troops are on the ground, ready to react, along with hundreds of FEMA personnel. And 30,000 electric workers are ready to deploy to repair the grid once the storm has passed. More than 1.7 million customers across Florida are without power tonight. But it's going to be a long road, with the worst perhaps not yet over. The National Hurricane Center does not expect Ian to weaken below hurricane strength anytime soon.
What?
I want to start with Bill Cairns.
That's
sorry, dude, it's supposed to be a 1.
It's
supposed
a
to be a 1.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, it's gonna be a 3.
It almost feels like there's a slow, but not if you're in areas inland. I mean, it's about as brutal as it gets. We still have a major hurricane category 3 over land,
Ian, next
producing dangerous winds, almost like a tornado strength, and flash flooding too. So let me show you the latest. Landfall was at 3 o'clock. Landfall was at 150 miles per hour.
I don't know
All
if
right,
it will, man.
Let's keep on going.
All right.
Okay,
News
back
Nation
to News
again.
Nation, making us feel better because they're not as reactionary.
Yeah, they're not like, everybody's going on! Oh, never mind.
These are the floodwaters pushing into a house in Fort Myers Beach. That was the beginning. The camera went black as the water continued to rise.
What?
Many houses in Fort Myers Beach were
camera?
lifted off of their foundations and literally floated away. It is now 9 p.m. In Florida. It is pitch black. Across many counties, we're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people.
A lot of this footage they're just taking from the internet.
The storm continues. Coming down. We'll check with the control room and see where this picture is coming to us from. Our live cameras, we're limited now because it's so dark in all the places that the power's out, you can't see anything. It's literally looking into a black hole. This is St. Petersburg, Florida. You can see one person driving around, but it makes the point that at this point of the evening, we cannot
one person driving around, just like
what's happening because
Dude's
there's no way to get transmission out of those places.
There's a surge. There's a surge.
The storm is just beginning there.
He was like, "There's a surge." No,
really,
storm surge,
Hurricane
dude.
Ian
Not Uber surge.
Is just starting. Even in the middle of this, it is perhaps the beginning of.
That looks weird. That looks like some UFO.
He said the beginning of the end of the beginning of the end.
Is going to show us a very different view of what this hurricane has
is that a
done
fire?
as it moves
I
in
was like,
now,
what is that? It's very not
in
good
a way
quality.
that we really haven't seen a hurricane do. Continuing coverage here on News Nation. I'm Leland Vittert in Chicago. We've just gotten the new track of the hurricane. It's going to be a quadruple whammy. Southwest Florida through Tampa, through Orlando,
They just got
Daytona
the tracking.
Beach and
They
Jacksonville,
just got the next,
out into
the
the
next
Atlantic,
step.
and then back in
They're already,
to the
see,
Carolinas.
look, they're already like,
this is something that really has
like
never
this is
happened
old news
before.
now.
It's not something that's planned for, and that's going to show you just how bad things are going to get. At least 2 million people out of power right now. As we look now here at the maps, this is not simply taken down power lines. This has taken down the entire power grid in Florida, all across, and cut the transmission lines north to south, which is going to take weeks to repair. Normalcy, or any sense of normalcy, is months away, weeks away from power, water, cell phone service for millions of people, tens of millions of people living up the coast from Tampa, across I-4 to Orlando, and then out to Daytona Beach. We start where the storm started today, which is in Fort Myers. Storm surge 8 to 12 feet. The National Hurricane Center had to come out with a new color to show what was going to happen. Where our Brian Enton was in Fort Myers. He's now driving around in the dark and joins us on the phone. Brian, we're going to cover it with a little bit of the video from earlier. Flooded hotels right now is what we are looking at. You've covered a lot of hurricanes, my friends. What makes this one so much different?
I think just how big it is.
I don't know if I can sleep tonight, Alex. I think I might stay up all night.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Because it's not supposed to end until like 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah.
We're not gonna know we're safe till like 3 or 4 a.m.
Maybe I'll lay in bed and like, listen to the howling of the wind outside. It literally howls.
And just
in the section by the bedroom windows, it howls. It's like,
pray you make it out of this fucking thing.
That's what it does.
But
why are we watching commercials?
I'm gonna pump it up forward.
All right, we got some Anderson Cooper.
Without the water.
It is 9 p.m., 6 hours after Hurricane Ian came ashore as one of the largest hurricanes ever to hit Florida's southwest coast. A defining aspect of it, along with the water. Take a look at the time-lapse video from Fort Myers earlier today as the flooding began. It's Fort Myers, and hard to imagine what it must have been like to look out a window and see this pouring into your neighborhood. As we've been learning, numerous people are trapped in homes there and across the area. In addition to flooding from storm surges, there is the rainfall, as much as 3 months of rain forecast in the coming hours and days. Starting off her coverage, our Randy Kay is in Punta Gorda tonight, where she's been experiencing some of the worst of this storm all day. And Randy, it still looks pretty brutal out there.
Oh, see?
Still pretty bad out
Was
here.
that the same one?
Going on now for hours.
You notice how all these people change their tune though? They're not all standing out here going, "It's climate change."
Had that clearing, and as I mentioned, the birds had come out.
Yeah, there's that lady.
That was
a lady.
She's still there.
Moved on.
More than 100
away from the wall.
mile-an-hour winds here.
Wow.
The main thing really to point out to you is just the darkness here, in addition to the storm. So we don't know what's really coming at us, but we did light up a little bit across the way for you. But of course,
she's gonna get thrown off.
She's still by the wall.
And the winds are quite strong, so we're sort of keeping one eye
it out a little
on
bit
flying
more.
debris that could be coming our way, while
You
also
think she's
trying
gonna make
to
it all
show
the way
you,
through the night?
what's going on here. But we're just at the edge of this parking garage.
Did she get
where
this
we have
job
some
on like
safety where
LinkedIn?
we can run to just in case. But if you take a look, you can see the rain probably
Feels
in
like
some of
an
that
awful
light
job to have
as
right
it's
now.
coming down. Still very, very heavy. The streets are not flooding. That is the good news. They were expecting a pretty massive storm surge here.
That's their
anything up
production
to
light.
about 18 feet. Because
Because
we're
they
pretty
said that
close
there's
to
no
Charlotte
power.
Harbor, and that is where the storm would have pushed the ocean water into the harbor. It would have overflowed into downtown Punta Gorda. But so far that hasn't happened, although they haven't ruled it out. But Anderson, I have to tell you, I'm concerned for people who either chose to ride this storm out or didn't know any better, because they probably haven't seen anything like this. And if they had, they might have experienced.
Everyone's so concerned about people that stayed in their homes. I mean, we should be, but at the same time,
all the weather people standing on the street.
Yeah, it's just a little like it doesn't fully make sense for those people.
Hannity.
And welcome to Hannity. We begin tonight with a Fox News alert. Only hours ago, Hurricane Ian made landfall near Port Charlotte, Florida, as a Category 4 storm. Areas around Naples, Fort Myers, Sarasota, they have been devastated by high winds and very severe flooding. New video showing water rising up to 12 feet in some areas. Entire homes, sadly.
All right, we're gonna move on, and we're gonna actually see the Marco Rubio interview. It seems like he's gonna.
There's a Marco Rubio interview.
Yeah, they said that he's
Alex,
Marco Rubio.
is it okay if I go get a snack?
Yeah, you can get a snack.
I'm gonna get a snack. Do you want a snack?
I'm good on the snack.
Okay, great.
I'm just seeing if Marco Rubio is actually showing up or not. It doesn't seem like he is. Nope, he didn't show up.
No?
Marco Rubio didn't show up. So we got Alex Wagner tonight.
I just really want some popcorn, and I got it, as you could hear.
Wait, let me see if I can get this again, because I'm pretty sure.
I'm really hungry. It's gonna be a long night. We're not gonna run this all night. Cause like, you know.
Well, not all night. The podcast? No.
Pardon me while I eat popcorn. I'm hungry.
What? Oh, here he is. Here's Marco Rubio.
Where is he?
We'll see.
Is he not in
what
Florida?
his state
He's in
is now
Tallahassee?
facing is Florida. Senator Marco Rubio is with us. Senator, first, our prayers, our thoughts for all our fellow Americans, our Floridians.
Oh, is he based out of
Floridian
Miami,
friends.
I think?
Sorry you're all going through this. This is a rough one. What do you know, especially about Southwest Florida? What happened, Naples, Fort Myers, et cetera, Sarasota?
Well, I think the reporting that preceded me here on the air kind of describes what the images we're going to begin to see tomorrow. We know that the storm surge was very significant, historic, really. And I think we're all going to be shocked by some of the images that are going to emerge. So one of the water gauges that measures up in Fort Myers was still pretty high as of an hour ago and rapidly rising. So there's still some threat there. And even as we're going to be dealing with that, we recognize that this storm is now moving inland. And now we move to a second kind of risk, and that is the flash flood. The National Weather Service has issued its highest alert possible. They're expecting upwards in some isolated areas of up to 12 inches of rain, but certainly 4 to 8 inches. So they're now talking about a real flash flood threat in many parts of Central
Is that another
Florida
angle of Jim Cantore? That's another angle.
Of course, is that it's overnight. Some people are going to be asleep, might be in the way of these flash flood advisories that are coming their way. But a lot of rain that's going to be coming in through Central Florida and all the way up through Northeast Florida. So tomorrow is going to be another terrible day in Florida for people.
You notice how everybody just gets to say the same thing because it's all written on a piece of paper
even
for
as
the
we
weather
begin to see the
department.
images emerge tomorrow.
Like even more so than like COVID, they all know what to say during a hurricane. They're just like, okay, hurricane, and then like
tomorrow.
No one's gonna be like, no, it's like
actually
it's
this time it's fake news. What you're saying is wrong.
I know that there's been a lot of
That's so fascinating to me is that they know no one says that.
You have literally
they all kind of read the same prompter, and so we all sit there going,
"Oh, preparing for this, knowing that it was likely going to be this bad. I was pretty impressed. I saw an AP picture today, and it had what looked like 3 or 4. Let's look at this poor guy swimming inside his living room. I mean, that home is probably going to have to be rebuilt.
Again, the guy's
but you
smiling.
pre-positioned and staged all these electric company trucks
and the insurance
on
company
standby,
just rebuilt it.
literally to
that's why he's
flood
smiling.
That's why he's smiling.
I saw a picture. Looked like 3 football fields worth
All right,
of.
enough of this.
Okay.
Alex Wagner tonight. Oh, we're going to start with Val Demings here.
Issue, particularly in the state of Florida.
Congresswoman Val Demings, whose district
She seemed really
includes
angry.
parts of Orlando, which is just about to get some of the worst part of this storm, particularly from the rainfall perspective. Congresswoman, thank you so much and stay safe.
Like Marco Rubio did.
Thank you. Take care.
She cares so much. And
That
her
is all
husband
in on
cares
this
so
Wednesday
little.
night. Live coverage of Hurricane Ian continues now with Alex Wagner tonight. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, Chris. You know, as spectacularly destructive as the images have been, it's just so abundantly clear that we have no conception of the true toll of this natural disaster by a long shot.
No, particularly in that area right down there
We
by
don't
Fort
know.
Myers Beach.
Like, anything. That's just like amazing. Wow.
Oh my God! I care so much about every last Floridian. Yesterday they were all racist, but today I love them all.
Later in the hour. Thanks, Chris. And thanks to you at home for joining us. At this hour, Hurricane Ian continues to cut a swath across the state of Florida. Ian made landfall just after 3 o'clock this afternoon in southwestern Florida near Cayo Costa, a barrier island off the coast of Fort Myers. Ian came ashore as a Category 4 hurricane with
It's like a Dragon Ball Z movie.
just a few miles per hour shy of a Category 5. Only 4 hurricanes stronger than that have made landfall in the United States ever.
Number 5.
But it is not just the strength of the storm, it's the size. This is a view of Hurricane Ian from the International Space Station this afternoon,
hurricane.
showing just how massive the storm is.
Whoa.
The National Weather Service describes Ian as battering the Florida Peninsula with catastrophic storm surge and winds and flooding.
That's good. So
Ian has just now weakened to a Category 2 storm with maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour, and it is
literally just raining across all of Florida.
Across northeast Florida.
And then it's going to go back into the ocean and then go back up into Savannah and be like, fuck you, Savannah.
North in a weakened form. States of emergency have been declared.
That's what I'm saying, though. It took out Tampa Bay and Savannah to what?
In Florida right now, nearly 1.9 million households are without power as wind and water knock down trees and power lines. Curfews will be in effect tonight in many communities along the West Coast. The greatest danger is the storm surge, which has already broken records in.
It's gonna hit Florida and South Carolina, but it's gonna miss Georgia. I feel like this is facts. All right.
All right.
On to the next one. Got Banfield. Got News Nation again.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Listen, it's whipping out here, but we're not getting the flooding, and I think that flooding along the coast, it's really whipping right now.
Oh my God, that's the
apocalyptic hurricane. Whoa.
I love how half of these are TikToks. At the end of the night, half of them are TikToks. And the other ones are YouTube bloggers.
Tonight on Banfield, violent, historic, apocalyptic. Predictions for Hurricane Ian were off the charts, but nothing could have prepared us for what we are seeing now. Our breaking news team is on the ground.
I mean, they were saying, like, it was going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, they were saying it was going to be pretty bad for
I was fully expecting to see the
2 million homes and businesses. And first responders are in the same boat as civilians.
That looks like a diner.
That's a diner.
This is
taking a ride down the street.
Floating down the street. You'll hear what the emergency plan is now. And it's one thing to hear about storm surge, but it is quite another to see it sped up in real life view. And then it's another to try to survive that. Ian brought the Gulf.
Who's going to try to survive that? There's no one there to survive it. They're all
We're
gone.
going to see it all.
There's someone swimming in it.
To the left, that's why you have to use the security footage.
What's Banfield? Who is this?
Welcome everyone to Banfield. Take shelter and hang on. Hurricane Ian is ripping through Florida tonight and ripping up the record books in the process. The eye of the storm is now about 85 miles south-southwest of Orlando and headed straight in that direction. Top winds are now clocked at 105
this is 10 o'clock. Okay.
It's the same 10 clips all night, though.
When Ian made
down from 150, dude.
And they didn't really get any good footage.
Even before that, the Gulf Coast communities of Fort Myers,
people
Senegal Island,
everybody's there, and it's mostly just security cameras that like fell into the water,
streets
and then
and
they're just like,
shoving themselves right into buildings and homes through any place they could find.
No.
Look at these images. Cars, boats, even airplanes tossed around like toys. Proof that the winds were no match for anything, even some structures. Case in point, take a look at this video from Naples. A building, or who knows, maybe just the roof of it, floating away down
either way,
a
it's
city
not
street.
good.
An absolutely remarkable image. There are frightening pictures too, like the images also caught in Naples of power lines and transformer boxes bursting into flames and exploding amid all of that water
in front of a
and
mansion.
rain. And check out
That was their own private power plant.
the mansion's power stayed on. You never see that?
Destin, Florida.
Whoa.
No, don't adjust your set. That is real. It was captured on video by a cell phone, though frankly, it looks like a movie. Ian's storm surge has more than lived up to the warnings.
Cyclone.
In Charlotte Harbor and Bonita Beach, the surges hit 18 feet. Unprecedented there and on par
Like we've been
with
there,
some of the country's
and like
highest
it's not
surge
supposed to be
events
that high.
in
It's supposed to
history.
like you look down and it's like a few stories.
Today.
Yeah, there's
Another
rocks
record.
and
There's like
shit,
all
yeah.
this stuff. Yeah, that's not.
Uncharted
It's not supposed to come up that
tonight,
high at all.
And many, if not most, Floridians who chose to ride this monster out are now in the dark. Close to 2 million Florida homes and businesses have no power tonight, and they may not be getting it back for days. I want to take you straight to the scene live for a close-up look at what this storm is doing at this very moment. I'm going to get you now to Fort Myers, Florida, where our News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Enton has been reporting for us all day.
Okay.
He has seen this moment from it landing on shore.
Okay, so just so you know, there are, according to the census, there's 21.22 million people that live in Florida. So, I mean, I think it's expanded, but let's say like a little less than a tenth. So maybe like 8 to 9%.
Yeah, 8 to 9% are out of power.
Out of power of Florida.
Here we go, Don Lemon.
Oh, he's here?
Whoa.
This is Don Lemon tonight.
Wow,
you are
he's
watching
down.
live coverage of Ian making its way
He's looking
up
hard.
the Florida
He's like
Peninsula.
afraid he's gonna get fired.
No, they're just like pushing him around. Like, you fucking go down there, Don, or you don't have a job.
Area, lots of water, and also the wind, pushing the wind all across the state of Florida. Our crews are out in the field. We're covering it all for you.
Well, good for you,
We've got
Don.
Bill Weir. Bill is joining us from Punta Gorda, Florida. Also, Brian Todd is in Largo, and Derek Van Dam is in Bradenton for us. But we want to start with our meteorologist, our expert, Mr. Tom Sater,
I would not be standing out there right now, and I'm standing in Orlando.
I am getting
and
so
he
much
is,
rain,
so,
buckets of
you
rain.
know what?
Where is he in Orlando?
I'm
and
done
it
on
seemed to come in on cue.
Don
We're
Lemon,
watching the
because that's
radar,
mad
and
respect.
the rain came right in, and it's just
Regardless of
sitting
where
on
he is
top
at,
of us,
because it is
not going
intense right
anywhere.
now.
No, Don. In fact,
is
that
he at,
northern
though?
periphery of the storm system in
Some,
the last
like,
couple of
person's
model
house
runs
in
in the last
Windermere.
couple of days really has been showing that northern periphery is
Wait,
where we're
hold
going to
on.
have that
Look.
heavy rainfall. Already we
Whoa.
have seen as much as 12 to even 19 inches
Wait.
of rain. That's 2 to
What?
3 months worth of rain that has fallen. We've got a flash flood emergency across
sorry,
the area from Arcadia
Some guy
up
surfing?
toward Orlando. It won't be long. They're going to be in the
Stop.
clearing back in areas of Fort Myers. Dry air to the south. Rain totals will be much less.
Oh, no.
But again,
Okay, I
you
thought
look
it
at
was
the
some guy
loop,
surfing.
we're going to
I was
find
like,
out
that's
what
so
are the
cool.
sources of the surge, how high did it get.
No, I
We
love
know
this
close
thing
to
though.
a
Every
foot
time they
in
put
some
that thing
areas.
on the chart,
The gauge
they show you
broke,
exactly
in
where it's
Naples
at, and then
after
they
it
bounce
hit
it all the
7
way
feet.
up,
But
so that
again,
you
the
get
storm
like all
continues
scared
to move
about
up,
it.
now passing just
For
north
no
of
reason.
Sebring.
It's so
But again, the
ridiculous.
winds were so
Those are
strong, it
past
knocked out a lot
salads.
of our weather instruments in this area. So again, we're not exactly going to know how strong the winds were in every area, but Cape Coral, 140 miles per hour. Sustained winds were quite strong for some times, and even around Venice, where again, they were in that northern eye. Now we're looking at this band. This is that rainfall. 2 to 3
It's
months
Punta.
worth of rain.
It's called the
It's
Punta.
already
Yeah.
a
That's
very
not- you know what that
saturated ground
means.
because the
85
rainy
mile an
season
hour
comes to an
winds,
end.
Orlando,
And here is
Florida
our
right now.
emergency that we're going to be watching very
Sorry,
closely.
just less than an hour ago,
There
he
will
was
be water
standing out here.
rescues in this area. There's no doubt.
Right
There's been
here.
many already
He was
throughout
right
the
here,
entire region.
Tim.
We've been watching.
What are you
Yeah.
looking at?
The surge. Did it get up to 18? We just don't know. So they're going to assess this, Don.
Okay.
Of course,
He
the
just said
crews will be
Punta
out
Gorda.
tomorrow.
I know,
We're
but
gonna
he
be
said
looking at
Punta
this for weeks and
Gorda
weeks and
before,
weeks.
and you know what that
However,
translates to?
What?
Fat whore. Don Lemon just said fat whore on national television,
On
guys.
national TV.
You saw it here first.
Wow, I was just kind of scolding you for being on your cell phone, but now I'm like, that was like the best. That was the best assessment of the night. He said what? What did he say?
Punta Gorda
And
instead
that
of
is-
Punta Gorda. And Punta Gorda, Gorda is like fat. And Punta is supposed to be like point, like fat point or something.
Yeah.
But he called it Puta, which is whore. So he called it
A fat whore.
a fat whore.
Wow.
Don Lemon is not
Don
doing well.
Lemon, Neiman City's fat whore. Dude, this guy, he got sent to Orlando and then he's still fucking up. Yeah, and those are the people that are going to be in danger here.
Ooh.
And the people that are...
Ooh, hold on, we gotta pause this.
It's crazy.
Well, let's pause this. We have some. our dog is sleeping through this, thankfully.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so then that was Don Lemon in Florida. That's pretty interesting.
Wow. In Orlando, just down the street.
Just down the street. And then we got. What we got now?
They all have like one location that they stick to. I mean, that's true. Like they really can't go anywhere. What are they gonna do? Oh, I have to use the ladies' rooms.
Yeah. The last word with Lawrence O'Donnell.
All right. Hurricane Ian continues now on the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Good evening, Lawrence.
Good evening, Alex. We're going to continue the live
I love how they canceled J6 season 2 for this too. They're like, oh yeah, that's postponed.
And we are continuing.
Not because they weren't like in Washington, but because they didn't want the hurricane footage to distract from people watching.
Wind speed is down
storm.
90 miles per hour.
The hurricane made landfall just after 3 p.m. today in southwest Florida. It's a powerful Category 4 storm, one of the strongest hurricanes ever to hit the United States. Hurricane Ian is causing record-level storm surges, potentially as high as 12 feet in Fort Myers and Naples,
this is
Florida.
at 7 o'clock?
1.9 million people are without power tonight. That is almost 10% of the population of Florida. That means over 90% of the people in Florida do have electrical power. The number of people without electrical power is expected to rise as slow-moving storm cuts across Florida with hurricane-force winds. A major concern right now and overnight will be flash flooding caused by the heavy rains. More than 2 feet of rain is predicted in some areas. Officials are warning residents to shelter in place if they have not evacuated, as many cities today had to suspend rescue efforts until the storm passes. We're going to begin with NBC News meteorologist Bill Cairns for the latest. Bill, what is the situation now?
We're watching a storm that is weakening over land, but we still have areas that are losing power at this hour, and we know we have people that need rescue and need help from in the past, so from what happened during the day today. So that's the situation as we go throughout these overnight hours here. The center of the storm is now over Sebring, Florida, so it's well inland. It's about halfway across the Florida Peninsula right now, and the winds are starting to die down. That's why we're at a Category 2. It's what we expect to happen, but it probably won't weaken that much quickly. It would probably still be close to a Category 1 at daybreak, or maybe a strong tropical storm. So the wind damage is going to be mostly tree damage at this point, minimal roof damage.
Now they're just going, it's going to be a Cat 2 coming through here?
Outages from the Orlando area
it's still going to be a 1. It's going to be a 1.
One at the end of the day.
Or it might be a tropical
morning when we're all dead.
Those are areas that could have some power outage problems during the overnight. As far as the flooding goes, this is really the story as we go throughout the overnight. Flood watches are everywhere in green, but these areas in the maroon down here, we've already had reports of up to 20 inches of rain.
All right.
Laura Ingram.
I'm Laura Ingram, and this is the Ingram Angle with a Fox News alert. The state of Florida has been devastated by one of the most powerful storms ever recorded. At around 3 p.m. today, Hurricane Ian slammed into the southwestern coast of the Sunshine State.
They're all showing the same footage, though.
That's good footage.
No, we saw that before. Winds top off at 155 miles per hour, and storm surges feared as high as 15 to 18 feet. Now, nearly 2 million people in Florida have lost power, with the storm moving at a glacial pace.
Footage from
Those outage numbers will continue to climb, along with the floodwaters. We're also learning at this hour that sheriff offices across the coast are getting a number of calls from people currently trapped in their homes. They didn't evacuate. But as the Lee County Sheriff's Office said, winds need to drop to 45 miles per hour for them to safely attempt these rescues. We're going to have every corner of this disaster covered, from reporters on the ground to residents in its path. But we begin in an area where residents have been advised to shelter in place, the Tampa-St. Pete region, and that's where we find Fox Weather's Max Gordon, who is standing by. Max, what are folks there bracing for tonight?
She's like, I'm not even going to try to say it.
Yeah, the fat whore, as that Lemon calls
He's
it.
in St. Petersburg now.
And although it moved farther to the south, we aren't necessarily out of the woods just yet. Some areas here are expecting around 20 inches of rain, and we are experiencing some of those heavy bands of rain right now, as well as those very strong winds.
Kind of looks like he lives in St. Petersburg.
Really almost knock you off balance. As this storm moves to the northeast, we are expecting some areas
He's not looking as as good as he did earlier today,
Yeah,
though.
no, he's looking depleted. But he does still fit in with living in St. Petersburg, so he's just like going to turn around and go home.
Out, and by tomorrow, they should be sending resources down south to those harder hit areas. Of course, electricity is a big concern for a lot of folks. As you mentioned, nearly 2 million customers without power right now. A lot of Floridians in the dark as we speak. 33,000 linemen and utility workers are in the state as we speak, ready to start restoring power, but they can't really get up in those bucket trucks until the winds start to subside. Winds need to be at around 35 miles an hour.
None of our power is out yet.
1 to 5%.
Those lines.
1 to 5%.
So a lot of issues there. And then when Floridians go outside tomorrow, hazards.
That was that flicker. That was what happened. We did go out.
Look at that headline. Massive, slow-moving hurricane ravages Florida. That's a really good title. Whoever came up with that.
A lot of issues in the days ahead. And tomorrow,
but
when
why
the sun
didn't Ian
rises,
stick? Like, we haven't heard the name of the hurricane that much this time around. They're like letting the name slide.
And now we turn to someone who predicted
it's
this
literally like their
storm's path
Hurricane Ian
before pretty much
Florida.
anyone. Fox Weather hurricane specialist.
Like, where's the name as the name is?
Where's the branding?
Where is the storm heading from here?
All right.
All right. The Daily Show.
Now they keep contesting that they're contesting us and who else?
Colbert. Oh yeah. The Daily Show and Stephen Colbert. So the Daily Show with Trevor Noah and the Late Show with Stephen Colbert keep content ID matching our TV show with commentary.
Yeah.
And we explain that it's commentary, and then they will
and they're like,
say
no,
a
we don't
manual
care.
person saw it, and they're like, we
care.
still don't care. Then we have to appeal it. And we're letting that be public right now, that it's ridiculous that we clearly are going to be commenting and talking over Trevor Noah. If you're watching Trevor Noah and you want to see Trevor Noah, you should probably go and see Trevor Noah's show. If anything, this is just a free advertisement for Trevor Noah rather than a substitute of Trevor Noah.
Exactly.
And Trevor Noah loses no money.
Nope.
By being on this show. And suck a dick, Trevor Noah, because we're still going to comment on you.
Boom.
Hurricane Trevor Noah. Let's see. Might be our only one, too, because the rest of them might be local blackouts.
Hang tight, Florida. Biden sees dead people.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they did play that. There's that video where he's like, where's Jackie? And he's like, Jackie's dead, sir. Oh, they also wear masks.
Yeah,
there's a hurricane down here. Like, we don't really.
Every person wearing a mask except
right
for the fuckers at the Tonight Show. Fallon, the only non-mask wearer.
Take a seat, everyone. We have got a great show for you tonight. Florida is bracing for Hurricane Ian. Joe Biden speaks to the dead, and we'll tell you why ice cream trucks are evil. Plus, our guest tonight is the very successful owner of the Dallas Mavericks, and he's one of the stars of Shark Tank. Mark Cuban is joining us on the show.
This is a good guess.
It's going to be a ton of fun, so let's do this. Let's jump straight into today's headlines.
Watch, he's going to do the same thing he always does. Oh, wait, no, we're watching him on Wednesday, so he better not do that hacky thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Before we get into the big stories, let's catch up on a few other things going on in the world. Starting with Lizzo, who made history last night at a concert in Washington, D.C. when she played a 200-year-old crystal flute that once belonged to President James Madison.
Why?
Yeah, that's a really cool way to bring attention to American history.
Why?
Yeah, because now students will know that James Madison was that guy who did a collab with Lizzo, you know? In education news, a teenager just learned that he was the only student in the world this year to get a perfect score on the AP calculus exam.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
One kid.
Very impressive.
One kid in India.
What's even crazier is that the kid sitting next to him had the second best score in the world. What are the chances?
Okay.
Think about it, though. The only person in the world with a perfect score. Do you have any idea what the odds of that are? I don't. The kid does. I don't. That's how smart he is. I don't know. Oh, and from the world of fine dining, McDonald's has launched a limited edition series of Happy Meals for adults.
Huh?
What?
Yeah.
cactus plant flea market? What does that even mean?
I know there are adults who are nostalgic for Happy Meals,
what are they going to give us?
It's not the cheap plastic toys
what are they
you
gonna give us?
It's that memory of your dad picking you up from school and then surprising you with a trip to Mickey D's, getting that Happy Meal in the colorful box, you know, explaining to you that it's not your fault and both he and your mother still love you, even though they need to be apart now. Man, those toys were so cool. I remember those days. All right, but let's move on.
I want to know what the toys are.
I know. He didn't say what any of these stories were. He just like did really bad jokes about them.
Breaking news, Hurricane Ian has now officially made landfall as a Category 4 storm. One of, if not the most powerful storm ever to make landfall on the western coast of Florida. Truly an historic and potentially catastrophic day for much of this state.
Ian's impact here as it moves inland will be a catastrophic surge of up to 18 feet, destructive wind gusts that are going way over 100 miles an hour, and flooding rain, which could be up to 2 feet because of the slow movement of the storm.
This thing's the real deal. It is a major, major storm.
Yeah, people, as we speak, Hurricane Ian is slamming into Florida. And I honestly hope that everyone in the Sunshine State is staying safe, you know, and I mean like rest of America safe. Yeah, not like Florida safe, you know? Like where someone wears like a long sleeve shirt to wrestle a gator. I'm being safe. No, not that. Just be safe. Because I mean, I know you guys are brave, but this hurricane, I mean, you heard Governor DeSantis. He said, this thing is the real deal. Not like the usual stuff I tell you to be scared of, like drag queens or critical race theory. I'm talking real. Like I might fly myself to Martha's Vineyard.
There you go. Okay. Have the courage to go for it.
Because you understand, this storm is way worse than usual, right? 155-mile-an-hour winds, violent waves, and a storm surge of up to 18 feet high. 18 feet. You understand most pools aren't even 18 feet deep, right? It's like 8 feet of water and then maybe like another 2 to 4 of piss. That's it. But Hurricane Ian, this shit is wild. And by the way, why are we still naming natural disasters? Like, why do we do this? It's a weird thing we do. Hurricane Ian, Fiona. Like, we don't do that with personal disasters. Okay. You know? There's no doctor who's ever been like, I have some bad news. Jeremy has spread to you. Just a cute little name I came up with so you would remember it. All right, let's move on to some political news. After a shaky start to his presidency, Joe Biden has recently gotten some of his groove back. He's signing legislation, he's reestablishing America's status in Europe, and he's the new brand ambassador for aviators. Ooh. In fact, many people are actually saying that Biden might have a really good shot at winning a second term in office.
Who's saying that?
All he needs to do, though, is avoid doing stuff like this.
An awkward moment for President Biden today at a White House conference.
Lady,
while calling out people in the audience, he accidentally included Indiana Congresswoman Jackie Walorski, who was killed in a car crash over the summer.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie?
Jackie's dead.
I didn't think she was going to be here.
And the guests.
They all go, the whole audience.
Ah, that's so awkward. Oh, man. And his explanation didn't help. You know, he's like, of course I knew Jackie was dying. I was looking for Jackie Kennedy. Where's Jackie Kennedy? Where are you, Jackie? Where's Jackie? Oh. Look, I mean, I guess on the upside, at least he noticed that she wasn't there. This is a good thing. Yeah, it could have been much worse if he was like, where's Jackie? Oh, there she is. There's Jackie. Everyone look at Jackie. He'd be like, there's no Jackie. She's there. Everybody sees Jackie. And look, I know a lot of people are saying that this is another example of Biden's brain being foggy, but I think, if anything, this makes Biden a better president. Yeah, think of how hard he must be working right now to keep Americans safe, knowing that Osama bin Laden is still out there somewhere. Where is he? Where is he, Jack? Where is he? Where is he? And finally, let's talk about air travel. The number of people flying is nearly back to pre-pandemic levels. And if you're one of those people about to take a flight for the first time in a few years, here's a reminder that you might experience some weird shit up in the air.
A new video is showing the moment that left passengers on board an American Airlines flight very confused. They were on their way to Dallas from LAX when strange noises started coming from the plane's public announcement system. Take a listen. The video has since gone viral and has gotten the attention of American Airlines. Some people have floated around the idea that the PA system was hacked. The company says the cause was a lot less sinister, blaming it on a malfunctioning system.
Hell no. What the hell was that? You hear that on there?
What?
I don't even know how to describe those sounds. It sounds like Chewbacca getting a hand job or something. What?
That's good.
That's great, yeah,
And how
totally.
is this guy so calm? He's just like, yeah, you hear those sounds. Yo, if I'm on a plane that starts making sounds like that, I'm getting a parachute. I'm getting a parachute and a few extra pretzels, and I'm opening the emergency exit. I'm gone.
You would not,
People were
Alex.
speculating that the PA system was hacked
would
by
not.
Craigslist.
do that,
But the
yeah.
official explanation from American Airlines
What do
is
you
that
think I
the
was
sounds
doing?
were caused by, quote, a mechanical issue with the PA amplifier, which raises the volume of the PA system when the engines are running.
What?
Which somehow is
Amplified
less
the
competent.
PA, the production assistant.
Like a hacker, I understand. Oh, I get it, a hacker. But you're telling me that the plane is always making sounds? Like Frankenstein is getting a prostate exam, but we're only hearing it now because of a mechanical issue? That's not reassuring information.
That's very true.
Yeah. We're always
The
getting
best
those
case
sounds
scenario
we just never send them to
is if
you.
the pilot accidentally left the PA system on in the cockpit, and all the sounds that the people heard were coming from him.
All right, everybody, we're on autopilot now. Let me just check some of my crypto investments.
This is getting crazy now, guys, out here.
Oh, that sucked, everybody. I gotta get my spirits back up. You know what? I'm gonna watch that new video from the Try Guys. Let's see.
I mean, the obvious joke is that the dude's masturbating. Instead, he's trying to be like, this is clean humor.
No one can know.
That would have been better. All right, that's
That
a
was weird. That was a really weird ending to that.
Before we go to a break.
All right, what's next?
I think that might be it.
There's nothing else playing?
Because I think we might have interruption on all of our other stuff.
Let's see.
Because there's a huge hurricane happening. But let's see here.
Hold up.
So Jimmy Fallon, is it Jimmy Fallon?
And some people are just getting drilled.
Let's
And
see here.
one of those people is
Whoa,
West
who's that
2's
person?
Gail
Whoa,
Pascal.
wait, is that Phil Deming? Does that look like Phil Deming?
Beach right now, and yeah, Gail, that's all sideways stuff coming at you.
Whoa.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Yes, West 2.
You know something?
Ladies in the rain.
I think we are just getting beat
Yes.
up by rain and wind that continues here in Volusia County. Now, I felt somewhat of a sigh of relief when I heard our meteorologist say that this system is beginning to slow down and weaken a little bit. But I wouldn't know it if living here in Volusia County, that's for sure. What I can tell you is that when it comes to power outages, at last check of the 5 power companies that does serve Volusia County, the last report, more than 28,000 people are still without power. Now, Volusia County remains under a hurricane warning, a flood warning.
It's sounding
as well
like
as a tornado
what
watch.
that is there, pretty much.
with the last
It's starting to sound like the same thing that you see on the
Thing
screen.
going on for us.
tornadic
It's pretty
activity
crazy.
here when it comes to rain. We've been telling you about
I'm
how
going to move
this
forward,
is a
see if they
rain
actually do
maker.
cover to the show or
And
not.
in some
They
areas,
probably
people can
don't.
get as much as 30 inches.
They don't.
Now, Votran
So we're
has
just
stopped
gonna-
running,
we're
of
just
course.
gonna
It's
get
been suspended
local
until
probably
further
for all
notice.
3 of these.
They may try Friday, but that
These
all
we're not gonna
depends on, what hurricane
None of these are going to let.
Colbert, though, because they
go.
pre-record, don't they?
Yeah, but none of them are going to let go of coverage to cover
Colbert, though.
the show.
Again, Colbert, same thing. They're like, you can't. They're like claiming us too, but.
We'll see if they do.
But they're not
Colbert.
even on, nah.
No,
Nope. Okay.
None of them are on.
Well, no, it's saying 11:35. Oh,
No,
you're
that's
right.
it. That's it. None of them are on
Whoa.
because we can't get those.
Oh man, hey, okay, let's look at the news live right now.
News live
Right now, yeah. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap up the show.
We get to pick it based on our favorite one of the night. So who did the
We gotta
most?
know what happened with the comfy goat. So I say we go back to News Nation.
News Nation, all right.
No, let's go back to live. No, this is not live. Oh, this is? Oh. Okay. Well, now it's just a commercial.
That's what I'm saying. I think this shit was over.
All right, guys. So we made it through. I hope you guys enjoyed this watch. We're gonna really hope that, you know.
I hope that we survive this. We're gonna ride this one out. It's gonna be a crazy one. So I don't know how long that was or how funny we were or what actually happened, but we did it, and it was a hurricane special episode.
Yeah. Speaking of hurricane special episodes, if you haven't yet, check out our Egos, The Hurricane of All Hurricanes, our comedy special that we made that, you know, which is clearly why there's a hurricane directly heading for us now.
Very much karma hitting us in the face.
But anyway, tons of sketches and really, really funny. We've been sharing them on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and people have been really digging them. So watch the full episode. We have other episodes, you know, there. But check it out. The Hurricane of All Hurricanes on YouTube, as well as envypictures.com for you to watch.
Absolutely. And speaking of envypictures.com, right now you can get envypictures.com subscription for $7.99 a month still, and $35 a year. And starting on November 1st, guess what? We're launching apps. Yeah. Yep. Apps on Apple and tvOS. And because of that, it will be $40 a month.
So get your subscription in now while you still can.
Now.
Yeah, and we're going to have tons of new content for you. Like, this is amazing. We've been working, building our app and everything. So we can't wait to share it with you all. But, I mean, it's basically...
Lots of new content coming
out. Yeah. I mean, you can check it out right now and subscribe on the website right now and get that yearly locked in before
all
we end up
independent content, all independent voices speaking completely free of themselves, earning 100% of their own profits. And if you buy it and watch it, you will help them as well.
Yes.
So that is the main goal of our envy.
Everyone All right, and on that note, we're going to sign off, and everyone stay safe to people in Florida that are also here with us in the storm. Everyone stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I never would have thought that week 4 of our palette towards the election would just be a hurricane week.
Well, you can't mess with Mother Nature, you know.
It just comes in. Usually when governors mess with immigrants. Yeah, just saying.
All right, everyone.
Little karma.
All right. Bye, everyone.